Winter is the perfect time to do everything that we don't usually do when the weather is nice and warm. Most of us are now spending a lot of time indoors, and so why not take advantage of this by having a winter glow up? These tips are going to be split up into 5 things that will help on the outside and 5 things that will help on the inside. So let's start with the physical, and the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you is Vaseline and moisturization. They will be your best friends. I don't know about you, but when winter rolls around, my skin is screaming for help. I generally don't have too much difficulty with my skin. I kind of get a few spots there, every now and again, but it's nothing too major. But one thing that does happen is that my skin gets so insanely dry and kind of flaky and not so great when winter hits. And obviously this is because of the cold weather and also heating, and the mixture is just not good. Something that has been working for me though is literally coating my lips in Vaseline each night and also each morning, and this really helps with the heating because heating does make your lips get more dry and chapped, and so this really helps. But also getting yourself quite a heavy duty dry skin moisturizer, this is something that I have done, and again twice a day, and it has again really helped. Something that I was doing before, but changing to something that is like full moisture, no kind of perfumes or added kind of nasties in it, just a very simple strong moisturizer really helps. The next thing is something that I really think just levels up your look in wintertime, and this is having matching woolies. So scarves, earmuffs, hats, gloves. I think it just looks so put together when they're all matching. So I really kind of like that leather look sometimes with the kind of black coat and then black leather gloves. But obviously you can't really match a scarf and a hat to that. So I usually go for white, so all white everything. And I just think, again, that looks so nice and just put together and really kind of classy and clean. And obviously this protects your skin against the harsh cold. The third thing that I would suggest that you try and invest in perhaps is a sunlight alarm. So don't go spending your money if you don't think that this will actually be helpful for you. But if you do suffer with maybe seasonal depression or just generally feeling really kind of groggy and just not great in the morning when you're waking up and it's dark and you don't have that natural light, I think a lot of us feel like that. So maybe trying out a sunlight alarm could be good for you. So basically what it does is that it slowly wakes you up with what feels like natural sunlight, and I found that this has really helped me just kind of lift my mood in the morning. It makes me feel a bit brighter, like literally, but I get out of bed feeling better. I don't feel like so just down in the morning and not wanting to get out of bed anymore. The fourth thing that I'm going to say for you to do is to do a deep condition on your hair. So obviously, again, due to heating, due to the harsh cold, our hair will get dry and brittle and snap, and it's just not as healthy and glowing as it is during the summer. So something that you should try is a deep conditioning mask weekly to try and combat this. The last physical thing that I'm going to say for you to do is winter-friendly workouts. And so this would include YouTube workouts, Pilates, yoga, dance, something along these lines where you do it inside. And this is because it's the new year, and though a lot of us might have set goals to go running or to go on really long walks, this might not be so doable or really that safe when you're a beginner and it's winter. Unfortunately, in most Western countries, and particularly in England, when it's the new year, it's not nice and sunny and bright and warm like I really wish it would be. It's been like the worst weather we've had recently this last week or so. It's been icy, it's been snowing, and it's been really cold. And when that happens, the UK just doesn't know what to do with itself. We have like no precautions whatsoever, and so it's not so great. We're not used to it. And so going out and doing runs when it's this type of weather, it's probably not going to be so safe for you. And instead, try and look at some indoor workouts where you can still hit your fitness targets, but do it a bit more safely. So that wraps up all of our 5 physical things, but now let's have a look at what we can do to help our insides during winter. So something that can really be helpful is kind of romanticizing the season that you're in. I really enjoy doing this, and this is something that a few YouTubers have helped me do. One in particular is Darling Desi. I'll put her here somewhere. She is amazing. I love her content so much, and she just helps me go into winter or autumn or summer, spring, whatever season, just feeling so excited and ready for it, and just feeling like I want to do every single activity associated with that season. So something kind of along those lines is doing winter journaling prompts. So writing down what you love about this season, what you want to do in this season, but also using it as a bit of a reflection task. Perhaps you still want to reflect on 2024, or maybe you need to sort out your goals for the coming year. The second thing that you should really try and do is stay consistent with vitamin D. So whether that is in the form of taking it as a supplement vitamin or taking it in fortified foods, then you should really stay up to date with making sure that you are taking vitamin D. And this is because there are so many people who are actually really deficient in vitamin D, particularly, again, in countries like the UK. So for example, Forth found that vitamin D levels in Brits in 2018, 2020 and 2023, and again in April 2024, found that the trend has continued, with 57% of UK adults having below optimal levels of vitamin D. The third thing that you should try and do is to change your nutrition. So eating foods that are seasonal, boost your collagen production with foods that are rich in vitamin C, for example, like berries, oranges, bone broth. Also eating antioxidant rich foods, for example, like dark chocolate, like green tea, like colourful vegetables, and this really helps against the stresses of winter. Also maybe trying hydration rich soups, so having hearty soups that have lentils, leafy greens, all those good things, but also making sure that you are having that hydration, because for me personally, I kind of struggle sometimes with having enough hydration and drinking enough water when it's in the winter months compared to the summer, and I think that's because I don't want to be cold. I don't want to make myself colder than I already am, and therefore I can put off drinking enough water, but drinking these soups or eating these soups can ensure that you do. The next thing that you should try and do is to build a self-care routine that incorporates winter, and I did do a video somewhere up here, I'll put it, on building a self-care plan and routine that works for you. But making sure that it's also tailored to each season can be really helpful, because things are different with each season. Of course, it's colder now, it gets darker faster, and your body just might not be feeling up to doing a lot of the things that you wanted to do in those other months. A lot of people do struggle mentally during winter, and therefore making sure that you do add something into your self-care routine that is literally just purely for fun, not something that's productive but just for you, can be really good and helpful. The last thing that I think you should try and do is to embrace hygge, and sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that really wrongly, but it is the Danish concept of hygge, which embraces warmth, comfort and simple pleasures. And I really like this because it's about being slow, it's about just taking in the present and just enjoying the simple things in life. So this would include just having a nice warm bath or a nice warm cup of tea, sitting by the fire with a book, lighting a candle, all of these really nice little comforts and luxuries that we have that we sometimes forget about. So this kind of feeds into what I think is just really great about winter, which is using it as a time to both enjoy comfort, but also you can use it as a time to glow up and to level up. And you can do this in more of a quiet way. So you can do this by learning that new recipe you always wanted to do because you have the time, well, the ability to be inside more than usual, or to read that book that you've always wanted to read. And so therefore you're leveling up your knowledge, your intelligence, you're leveling up in different ways. Seeing winter as a time for slow and nurtured growth is just great because, as I said, we are constantly indoors. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that some of these things, you know, you might take on board. Let me know if you have any tips for a winter glow up. I'd love to know all about them and what you might be doing, so leave that in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!